This week we're going to talk about my favorite all-time video game series, which is called Dragon Quest. Now, it was always Dragon Quest in Japan, but in America originally it was called Dragon Warrior. The original first 4 Dragon Warrior games in America were released on regular Nintendo, Dragon Warrior 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the next Dragon Warrior game was to be Dragon Warrior 5, which came out in Japan as Dragon Quest 5, and we actually even got an ad for it in Nintendo Power over here, but for some reason they decided not to release it in America, which was actually a very sad moment in my life for me. The next Dragon Warrior game that came out was on PlayStation 1, well, in America anyway, was on PlayStation 1, and it was called Dragon Warrior 7. It was an outstanding game, but because in America we were really all for the Final Fantasy games and they were very graphics heavy, Squaresoft at that time spent a lot of time and money focusing on making sure that their games were very pleasing to the eye, and whereas Enix had always made sure that their games and had always focused making sure that the Dragon Quest games were very fun, they focused on rich stories and lots of gameplay, graphics kind of suffered, and Dragon Warrior 7 was absolutely no exception to that. The graphics really were not that great, but it had over 100 hours of gameplay, and that's pretty much if you just went straight through it, which for a PlayStation game was absolutely unheard of at the time. Like, you were really good if you were getting over 40 hours. Over 40 hours was considered a long game for PlayStation 1, and this had over 100 hours. But again, unfortunately, it really didn't do that well in the US because it wasn't as, you know, high-resolution graphics as some of the other games that were out at the time. Now, they did come back out with Dragon Quest VIII. At that point, they decided to go on ahead and change it in America from Dragon Warrior to Dragon Quest. I think partially because Dragon Warrior games hadn't done as well in America, so they wanted to change it up and use the original Japanese name. They also decided to up the graphics a little bit with Dragon Quest VIII, and they used some really cool cel shading graphics for the game, and it was awesome. I mean, it still had everything that I love about the game series, which is great fun characters. It has a really good, all the games have a really good balance between funny and yet dark and serious. Out of the Dragon Quest games have come some of the most adorable characters and the most adorable monsters in all time, being the slimes. I love slimes. I own lots of slimes. I love slimes. In this video, I am working with Geeksoap.com to do a giveaway. She has created the most amazing slime soaps. They come in red, blue, green, and metal. Subscribe to my channel, follow me at Kiba13 on Twitter, follow at Geeksoap on Twitter, and leave a comment on which color is your favorite slime, and I'll be choosing somebody at random to actually win one of these slimes of your choice of color sent straight to your house via at Geeksoap. Thank you very much, by the way. My friend Dwayne runs this outstanding website called www.dqshrine.com. And it is full of images, maps, character descriptions, game descriptions, just anything that you could ever want. Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest is on that website, and I just cannot stress enough how awesome it is and how awesome Dwayne is for constantly keeping it up, constantly looking for new content to put on it. He's just awesome. The site's awesome. Go look at it, seriously. And if you haven't played these games, try them out. They're outstanding. They're awesome. You'll be more awesome for playing them, and you really won't regret it. Anyway, till next week, thank you so much for watching, and you have a good one.